Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Bentley Continental GT Speed at Golden Max in the Pagani Huayra R multiplayer season in Asphalt 9. Yeah, these races were recorded a while back, but recently someone in my comments mentioned that I had not made a video in this car yet and was wondering when I was going to make it, so here you go. Please consider subscribing if you have not already, and be sure to check out my Furum Clips channel, Furum TV channel, and my Purple Team Discord, and with that, I hope you enjoyed these races. So the Bentley Continental GT Speed was a previous Legend Pass car that did not get much hype around it. The main thing that people remember this car for was the fact that for whatever reason, its stats were, I guess not really swapped, but put onto the Bentley Continental GT3 in D-Class for one update, and thus we had a new king of D-Class for a long time. As you might be able to imagine, that made the GT3 very overpowered because this car is in A-Class and goes 225 miles per hour. I didn't end up making a video about the GT3 during that update because I was working on other projects and my GT3 is actually only at 2 stars, so I don't know how really great it would have been or good to show off how the car would do, but just imagine this car right here, just in D-Class, absolutely demolishing the leaderboards for events, and I guess in Club Clash as well, because yeah, Gameloft did say you could use it there and you didn't have to worry about getting banned or anything like that, which, to be honest, makes sense, because why would the players get banned for something that Gameloft made a mistake on? Not saying it hasn't happened before, but I do think in this case that was the right call. During that time, we had a completely overpowered new king of D-Class because this car goes 225 miles per hour. It has okay-ish acceleration. It's not the most amazing, but its drifting is good, its nitro efficiency is fairly long-lasting, and this being in D-Class completely messed up the D-Class economy for a short while, so I am glad it was put back. Now, this car in A-Class, unfortunately, is not quite so overpowered. It's certainly rather slow for its class, but as you will see in this video, it is fairly agile. And against cars that may be faster than it, as in this race, it does do fairly well on tracks that don't allow other cars to get up to their top speed very much. Because in this here, I was able to stay at my top speed for a fairly long amount of time, and I was able to beat, the Zonda R, the Barchetta, the Elva, other cars like that. But now we're moving on to Nevada, in which we're facing some other GT Speeds, but we have an Avia here as well, and some Zondas too. This will be a better test of how this car would perform in multiplayer in general, I feel, because, well, it's a track where it doesn't have much of an advantage on the agility side of things, because Nevada is more of a speed track. So Asphalt announced something pretty cool on their Twitter recently, namely a collab of sorts with a music artist named Bishu. Now, this is pretty cool to me because, number one, Bishu is a Monstercat artist, and as you guys know, I've been loving Monstercat music for a very long time now, and while I won't say Bishu is necessarily, like, in my top 5 favorite artists or anything like that, his music is very good, and one of his songs, Rituals in particular, is one of my top 20 favorite Monstercat songs of all time. Not only that though, but he also has a YouTube channel with around 160,000 subscribers where he uploads just highlights from his Twitch streams of doing music stuff, like making songs. Some of my favorite content that he's made are Def Jams, where he makes music where chat can hear it while he's streaming, but he can't hear it, and you get some really funny things out of that. But anyway, the point of all this is, apparently, Bishu will be streaming him creating new music for Asphalt 9. That's pretty cool. He's done some streams before where he created an entire album, I think of like 5 songs for Monstercat, which then got released. But now people will be able to kind of determine what sort of song he makes for Asphalt 9. I just think that's really cool. Also, we know this is somehow related to the 6th Drive Syndicate based on what Gameloft posted on Twitter on the Asphalt account. And so I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, the patch notes will also come out around the same time that Bishu streams. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? I don't know, that's just speculation on my part, but yeah, just kind of neat to see Monstercat finally coming to Asphalt 9 in a sense after so long. I know some of their songs were added to Asphalt 8 a while back, but, you know, I don't really play Asphalt 8 that much anymore, and I don't really have the music on in-game anyways. Maybe I'll turn it on again for this. We just barely passed this Where R at the last second. This turned out to be one of the closest and best races that I had. There were also 3 Avias in that race, as well as a Zonda R, all 1,000 rank above me. That, I think, shows how powerful this car can actually be, maybe even more than you would think based on its stats. This is because it is overall a fairly well-rounded car, where even though many cars will be able to get ahead of it just because of their better top speed, you will often catch up around the turns and things like that. And because of that, I don't really think that this car is bad necessarily. But on the other hand, I don't really know if it would have been worth buying the Legend Pass, particularly for this car, especially if you have other better A-class cars already. Around this last turn, the Avia hits the wall due to its not-so-amazing drifting, and we're able to pass it at the very last second to come in first. However, this is with a tie, so do keep that in mind. That means we were less than a frame ahead. Now we're on to our final race in Himalayas. And this should be a real test for this car, considering that this is one of the most top speed oriented tracks in the game, and this car is most certainly not top speed oriented. Now it is time for my general review of the Bentley Continental GT Speed. This car does only have a max rank of around 33 to 3400, which puts it in the lower portion of A-Class. That being said, I do think it is better than a lot of the low-end A-Class cars. Its top speed is definitely compatible or consistent with those cars around it in A-Class, and its drifting abilities and everything else are above average for where it sits. Because of that, it ends up being or feeling better to drive than you might expect for its placement, and I was able to get some fairly good races with it against some much higher end cars in A and B class that typically you would not expect it to be able to compete well against at all. Compared to other A-Class Legend Pass cars, the GT Speed is definitely better than the Neo, but it is worse than the Victor. And with that, we come to the end of our final race. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, Minecraft, and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!